Alright, number 9, we want to write each of the following equations in slope-intercept form and identify the slope and the y-intercept. So the first equation we have is x divided by 3 plus y divided by 5 equals 1. And first we want to isolate y, get y by itself on one side of the equal sign. So that means I need to get rid of this term. And I do that by moving it to the other side of the equal sign. And if you move something, you just simply change the sign. So I'm going to bring down the y over 5. Bring down my equal sign. This is going to get moved over. So now it's negative x over 3. And the 1 is still here, and it was positive, so plus 1. So now all I need to do is get rid of this division by 5. And we get rid of division by multiplying. So I'm going to multiply by 5 and everything will get multiplied. So when I multiply this by 5, it will cancel out the division, and that will leave us with y. Multiply this by 5, it only multiplies the top. Okay, so this will give us negative 5x divided by 3, and then 5 times the 1 will give us a positive 5. Okay, so our equation in slope-intercept form is negative 5 over 3 x plus 5. So that negative sign is there. Okay, so it says the slope of the line, that's just the part that's in front of the x. So the negative 5 divided by 3, the part attached to the x, negative 5 over 3. And then the y-intercept is the constant term, which is 5, but we want to write it as an ordered pair. So remember, the x is 0 when you're doing the y-intercept. So 5, 0, 5. Alright, so now we're going to do part B, and we have 3x minus 4y plus 5 equals 0. So this time to get y by itself, I need to move two terms, the 5 and the 3. We're going to move both of those over, and they're going to become negative when we move them. So I'm going to bring down the negative 4y, leaving it, equal sign, and then move the 3x over. It's going to be negative 3x. Move the 5x over. It's going to be minus 5. Okay, so just move those over. And I always put the x term out front. Slope-intercept form wants x to be out front and the constant in the back. And then we're going to divide to get rid of this negative 4. So this is negative 4 times y. So to get rid of multiplication, we have to do division. And everything gets divided by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. So we're just left with a positive 1y, which is what we need to have. Negative divided by negative is a positive, so this is equal positive 3/4 x, and then again negative divided by negative, this is positive 5/4 as our y-intercept. Alright, so our slope is 3x over 4 plus our y-intercept is 5 divided by 4. Alright, the slope, again, is the part attached with the x, so 3/4. And then the intercept as an ordered pair is 0 for the x value, and then 5/4 for the y value. So 0, comma, 5/4. Uh-oh, it's all on the bottom. That's not right. Arrow over. Okay, so 0, comma, and then I need my 5 up top and 4 on the bottom. And then arrow out and close parentheses. Alright, C. We have x minus y equals 5 times x minus y. Okay, so we'll distribute the 5 equals 5x minus 5y. I'm going to add, move the 5y over here. So I have x minus y plus 5y equals 5x. And I'm also going to move the x over here. Okay, so I have, and we can go ahead and combine these. So we have 5y minus y, so this is understood to be a 1. So you're not subtracting off the y, you're subtracting off one of them. So that will leave us with 4y. Moving this x over here will give us 5x minus x, because the x out front is positive. Move it over, it's negative. We will combine these. Again, this is 5x minus 1x. You got to understand that there's a 1 here. You're not just taking off the x and having 5 left. So we get 4y equals 4x. And then to get y by itself, you divide by 4. And anything divided by itself is 1. So we just get y equals x is our equation. Alright, so our equation is just x. The slope is the number in front of x, which is understood to be a 1. You don't see a number there, but it's understood 1. And then the intercept, we don't have a number, so it is 0. Okay. So having an x there and no number showing is understood to be a 1. But if there was no x, it would be 0. There's no number here, so it is 0. An ordered pair, the x is always 0 for the y-intercept, and the y is 0 as well this time.